idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make it.
Hello and welcome to a brand new preview episode for Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is preview episode for episode 167, Green Book. This is, of course, the 2018 Oscar-winning picture that Terrence loves so very much. You're just not going to even look up?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Last week, they did Fall from Grace, right? I wasn't on that one. We do two of these episodes a day. Or when we record, we do two episodes. I wasn't on either one because A Fall from Grace gave me a stomach virus. But I watched both movies again, and I'm fucking pissed that I did because I couldn't record. That is so fucking mad. So I won't be on this episode either. Just know that movie, I do not like it at all. It didn't deserve to win an Oscar. And like I told these guys, if the Academy was going to do some dumb shit, they should have just gave it to fucking Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, Black Panther deserved it more than Green Book.
The movie's not good, yeah.
I think it's a fine movie.
No.
But I think there are some fundamental problems with it.
Like, it's shot fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, fundamentally,
there's nothing wrong with it. It's not Tyler Perry level garbage.
Right.
Because they're competent directors. But, like, the story is just... No, come on, fucking.
And look, I promise you, in that episode, we certainly did not pretend that you enjoyed it. We were very honest about your feelings.
I'm sure. Fuck you in advance.
Seems very rude, but okay. I wouldn't lie to you, Terrence. That seems odd. So, Green Book is about New York City bouncer Frank Tony Lip Villalonga and his lovely road trip with his newfound black friend, Dr. Don Shirley. It is a true story, much like the hurricane is a true story.
Yeah.
So they kind of go on their racial road trip and become friends in the process. So look forward to that full review next week. But for the preview episode this week, I think we'd be kind of remiss if we didn't talk about the big elephant in the room, which is the death of Kobe Bryant. Obviously famed basketball legend. I am not a basketball person. I haven't been, I think, since Jordan retired, to be honest. I think I just kind of stopped watching basketball then. But obviously I know who Kobe Bryant is. I know how accomplished he was. But you guys were more into sort of watching basketball at the time that he was playing. Like, do you have, I think it's shocking to everybody how he died, which is in a helicopter crash alongside his daughter, by the way. I just found that part, like, all of the other things aside about him, good or bad, I just found that part to just be tragic. Like,
well, yeah, it's tragic. I mean, he was 41. That is midlife, right? That's midlife. People are living into their 80s now, so that's midlife.
Like, you and I are not far off of 41.
Right. And his 13-year-old daughter, amongst 8 other people, were on that thing, and that's the tragedy, right? Like, your life has ended prematurely, but for someone so young to have had their life taken is off of what appears to be a fluke accident is just it's heartbreaking. I had to put up with a bunch of a couple of my more religious friends. One of them said, well, that's why you're not supposed to live life too fast, because once you do everything too fast, then God calls you early. And I'm like,
what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. What the fuck does that mean? But you know what?
Stay on the stoop. Never get away. Never try too hard.
And I was really annoyed by that. But it didn't. This is very sad.
I don't get religion, but I don't get it.
His death affected my wife a little bit because
she's a pretty big sports fan.
She is, and she even, we were hugging, and she was like, he wasn't even my GOAT, but, he was really good. And the idea of mortality and death can come at any moment, right? Like, we are, her age, and I'm right behind her. So,
Smart move. Yeah.
so and we have a young child. So
Right.
all of that stuff just kind of came into the foreground. It's very, very sad, man. Kobe as a basketball player, like as a human being, he always stressed like work. Like you put in the work. Like he worked his ass off to be where he is, right? And it showed. There is only a player like a Jordan, like a Kobe that comes around once in a generation.
Right.
He was that generation's Jordan.
Yeah, he was. Absolutely.
And it's very sad, man. It's very sad. Like I'm not here to tell people how to mourn. If it really affected you, I'm very sorry. And I hope you get through it or whatever. But
Yeah, you got to say it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Just don't be a dick to people. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped watching basketball probably in like 2005, maybe like 2 years after his situation, if you will.
Right, we'll talk about that obviously.
And yeah, I was never a huge fan of his, but like I could see that he was a great player. Like he's one of the best. Like he was number 3 as far as scoring.
Right.
Yeah.
Like LeBron just passed, and LeBron passed him the day before.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like
that's got to feel that for LeBron, that's got to feel.
Yeah, and
that's got to feel like something different.
About him, when he wasn't in the league yet. He drove to watch Kobe play in some kind of tournament, and after the game, he talked to Kobe Bryant, and Kobe signed his shoes and gave them to him.
Wow.
And
yeah, because he was a big name in high school players.
Right. And he gave him. By that time, Kobe was already in the NBA. He gave him his shoes, and the next day, LeBron wore them to a game that he played.
Yeah,
and I think he won or something like that. But so he was like his hero.
Wow, Jesus.
LeBron is like 6-7 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
So he watched, like, they both came in from high school, like straight from high school. Like Kobe came in 96. He was 17.
This is nuts.
Like, I was 14 years old. I was 15 years old. That dude entered the NBA. Yeah, he was a great player, and like again, he had that like Mamba mentality thing where people have been telling stories all week. They said he wanted to learn how to play the piano for his wife once. So instead of hiring someone to teach him, there was one song in particular that he wanted to learn. He listened to it over and over again, and he taught himself how to play the fucking he was like a fucking savant. Yeah. Like if he put his mind to it, he would do something. The dude won an Oscar.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he did so much. And there's this narrative that he was a flawed character, and I guess we can talk about what happened to him. But this happened when he was 24. Some women accused him of sexual assault.
Right.
So what happened was that he worked at the hotel, and he and a couple of his homeboys, they were in a room, and I don't know what happened. No one knows what happened. She accused him of sexual assault. She took it to court, but she decided not to actually press charges. Like she dropped the charges, but she took him to civil court. And they settled out of court, gave him money. But the thing is, he actually apologized publicly.
Yeah.
Like he publicly apologized. Like, look, I thought it was consensual. Apparently it wasn't. I apologize. That's his one mistake. It was a doozy.
Yeah, that's a doozy. Yeah.
One mistake out of a 20-year career. He retired he retired in 2016. That's one mistake.
And that's more than a lot of dudes do
That's
now.
One. Right. And he was 23 years old.
Public apology? Like, where's Aziz Ansari's public apology?
Right. He was like, I am sorry.
Right.
So, like, they keep saying he's a layered, he was flawed, blah, blah, blah. But that was the one flaw.
Yeah.
Again, it's a fucked up, it's like a bad one, but like at the same time, it's muddled and
right. I don't like, I'm not going to, I think I can speak for the two of you as well. I think the apprehension of like, how do you talk about this is I don't want to be like, he definitely did that, and that he should burn for it, because I think that's
fucking ridiculous.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Calling him a rapist on Friday and then not acknowledging that you called him a rapist after he died, that's irresponsible.
Right, and it's extreme, right? It's an extreme response, but at the same time, I'm not going to be like, he's totally, well, just because he wasn't found guilty, then like nothing happened.
Again, you can't be a sycophant.
Yeah, like I like both of those views to me feel too extreme, and I think the measure of a man is the totality of a man.
Yeah,
right?
the totality, and the totality was like he was overall good.
Right, and he fucked up. However that fucked up looked, because we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think a public. I just have to say, I don't think a public apology works if it's something like a Harvey Weinstein situation.
Yeah, no,
right? Like I think
like
those
a
are two
Harvey Weinstein or a Cosby type thing.
Right, I don't think
that
you
nigga's
can
been doing that shit for 40 years.
Right, and I think that's the difference. And again, I'm not saying he's innocent and we shouldn't say anything, or he's perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, to me, it sounds like if that's the way they went, like, okay, you're going to do a public apology and this is going to be a civil case, that feels more like they also recognize there's some level of gray, right? Like that's all I'm saying. And I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, we believe women.
Right.
Calm down.
Right,
I'm not a rape apologist. Like, relax before we hear any of that bullshit. But like, again, like that's his mistake. He apologized,
and he had to own that. He's got to own that.
Like, he fucking gave his wife a $2 million ring afterwards.
Yeah, he was like, "Please don't leave me. Please don't leave."
Here you go.
Yeah.
Look, please. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and no problem since. That was 16 years ago.
Right. And like you said, it's a doozy. So like you can't overlook it.
You can't overlook it.
You're over there chasing Will Chamberlain's record. That's not the record you want to chase.
Yeah.
You worry about that points record.
Yeah, just relax.
Didn't quite make it, but
just relax. So yeah, I think you have to look at the totality of the man. So again, I'm not a huge sports person, and I wrote on Facebook, like, all of the stories about like, oh, he's such a great scorer, watching the videos of him, having that game that was like 84 points or something crazy.
Points,
yeah, that was I don't remember who the comedian was. It was like, he was trying to beat the case on the court. like he was just trying, like, if I could just score enough points, people will forgive me type of shit. Which I just found it to be a funny joke. But the thing that got me is I'm like watching all these people talk about it, I'm like, I just don't care. It's a tragic story, but I just don't give a fuck, because I don't have that connection to Kobe like that. Right. I just don't, right? There are celebrities who I do have a level of connection, that there's something about their career that touched me. Kobe's not one of them, and that's okay. But what did get to me was I saw that one animated GIF of him sitting courtside with his daughter, and they were just like fucking around doing their little handshake thing, and that got to me, because I was just like,
that's the thing that's got to, like, again, I was never the hugest, like, again, I told, it's not my biggest memory of fucking Kobe Bryant was that fight he got in with Chris Childs back in like 2001 when he punched him in the neck twice. It's fucked up. I'm sorry, but I was watching that game live, and I'm like, yo, that's hilarious. but like, yeah, the shit with him and his daughter, like, that's what got like, to me. That every time I see that shit, I'm like, good Lord. He has 4 daughters.
Yeah. So
the middle one, like the second to the oldest,
is the one.
He was the one. 13. She passed in the helicopter. And then the other thing, when people talk about like, oh, he was a rapist, like, first of all, there were 7 other people on that plane. So
don't just toss them as if they don't matter.
They don't matter. And then he's got a wife and he has 3 other children.
Right.
Like, they don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
Like, relax, yo. Like,
right.
Come on.
And look, you can have your opinions. Like, your opinions are fine. I'm not going to tell people to regulate or whatever. I would just argue that maybe on the day,
right,
on the day of losing, and you can say fuck him. That's fine. On the day of the loss of his daughter, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe wait till tomorrow.
Yeah, bring it up tomorrow.
Like, maybe. That's just me.
I'm all for speaking ill of people, especially when they dead, because they can't do nothing.
Right. You can't
But
fight
I'm
me.
not going to speak ill of them on the day that they die.
It depends on the person.
Yeah,
if they're a real, like,
scumbag,
like a lifelong scumbag.
Yeah.
Look, when Cosby dies, we might do a preview episode with us just dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
honestly, when Anthony Scalia died, I looked up that song on the Wiz, "Can You Feel a Brand New Day?" because it made me feel good.
I laughed when I read the news. I remember I was at a gas station near my sister-in-law's house. I read that news and I was like, Anthony Scalia died. I laughed.
He lived his life. He's fine. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck him. But so yeah, there are certain people, obviously. But yeah, I would just say maybe wait till the next day. So the last thing I will say is I saw the video. I don't know if you guys saw this. Is a sports commentator, Lauren L. Duncan, who's on ESPN. She talked about a story that she only met Kobe Bryant once. And she was like, "Oh shit, it's Kobe Bryant." Like she's a sports.
She said she was pregnant.
Yeah,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and so she was like, "I'm gonna get a picture of Kobe Bryant, get it for the Instagram or whatever, right?" And so she went over to him. She's like, "Hey, Kobe, how are you?" Or whatever. And she says, he just stopped her and was like, "Yo, you're 8 months pregnant. Like, holy shit! Like how far along are you?" And she told him 8 months pregnant, and she was, and he was like, "Oh, what are you having?" And she told him a girl, and he said, "Oh, at the time he had 3 girls." And he says, "Oh, I'm trying to get my wife to have one more." And so they started talking about raising girls. And he said, "I would have 5 more girls if I could." He was like, he said he was a proud girl dad. And I have to admit, like, I'm watching her tell this story and she's getting choked up and crying. Like, I was like, it's way too early at work. I shouldn't be crying at work. Like, I felt something in that. And just because I have a daughter. And it was just like, there's something about that story that just resonated with me personally. And I have a lot of friends who have kids, and a number of them who have girls. And I'm just seeing like all these posts of people writing #girldad or whatever, just like taking pictures with their daughters. And I was like, that feels good. Cause like even whatever you think of him and his complicated life, in that moment, his death presented that to people, like the realness of their relationship with their kids. And I thought that was really...
He has like a 6-month-old.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just
it's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's
super sad, like, but I mean, shit happens.
It does. It does. And if you're Dr. Umar Johnson, stop making up conspiracy theories. You're just making the story about yourself, you fucking dumbass.
Yeah, that dude's a fucking... Like, he's another one. Like, fuck that nigga.
Yeah. Like, just, come on, man. Stop making it about you. Oh, how did he die? Yeah, people die, yo. Helicopter crashes happen. Like, it's not unheard of.
See, but that's, like, I read somewhere that people who do that, like, they admire people so much that that's why Kennedy has a lot of conspiracy theories about his death, that a person so great, like, they couldn't have just died.
Right. It seems too regular.
Right. It's too mundane for a person who has affected people or so great. Like, someone had to have taken them out because they were beloved by everyone. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, at the same time, like, I'm going to need you to look at facts. And
no, that dude's an idiot.
sometimes things happen, man.
Yeah, they just do.
Yeah.
And you're taking away from that guy, the tragedy of that guy's life, to make it about some bullshit conspiracy theory, just so you can make it about yourself and go, "Oh, well, I figured this out." You didn't figure shit out. Like, you didn't. You didn't.
Fucking saying shit.
Yeah, you're just running your mouth. So just knock it off. You sound stupid. You have no understanding of helicopter aviation. Like, just stop. Just knock it off. Yeah, just do yourself a favor and just shut up. Yeah, I think that's it. It's just a tragic story. And shout out to his family. I mean, I saw that there was a story of like, his wife isn't able to even, get out a sentence without crying. And I saw someone on Twitter was like, "I guarantee you, we don't need to have a blow-by-blow of her grieving. Like, we just don't. Just let that woman be."
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that.
It's been 3 days.
Yeah, just let her be.
Like, it's going to be a very, very, very long time before she can move on from that shit. Trust me, I know. Like, been there several times.
Yeah. So,
don't just leave that woman alone.
yeah.
Just leave them alone.
All right. That's it for us. We will see you guys back next week for episode 167 for Green Book.
Don't at me.
All right. Bye.
Take it.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.